All right, kids, grown-ups, men, women, here we are, Wits and Brains with Casey and Catherine once again, a couple of the coolest chicks in business. Today we are talking about, admit it, you are Prissy Pants. All right, who is a Prissy Pants? Could it be Casey? Could it be Catherine? Everybody's shaking their head. No, not Catherine.
Oh, thanks. What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the last time you said something about bougie. Okay, tell us all.
So, before we hop into what it is to be a Prissy Pants, so two instances come to mind. I went out to dinner with my mom and my stepdad and Cheryl. And I didn't take a picture of my food, which my friend Dawn, she's always like, "Oh, you got a picture cated." I can't even say the word. And I'm like, okay, but I'm a foodie. I love a good food presentation. So my mom, she looks at me and she gets this little grin on her face. And I'm like, oh God, because my mom is very outspoken. She goes, "You didn't take a picture of your food." And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Not pretty enough, huh? Gotcha." I'm like, "Really, Mom?" And they always say I'm so bougie with my food. And I mean, we saw this guy. My mom was asking him if he wanted to go on a date with me. And she's like, "Just so you know, if you take her to a restaurant with great food presentation, you will be good to go."
That's hilarious.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Now we know. Now we know that food is important to Casey.
Yes, it is. And I love the little I don't know, just like little things. I just moved, so I got this little magnet that goes on my dishwasher. And you slide it to clean or you slide it to dirty, and it has like, it's just cute. And then I got this it's like a citronella candle. And I was kind of mad because it's like this big, and I paid $18 for it. And I guess when I read the ounces on the description, I thought it was a lot bigger. So I get it and I light it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing in the world. And my friend was over, he's like, "You are so bougie. You have a candle where the wax changes colors, Casey." Like,
you're so fancy. So fancy. You are living on the edge, Casey.
I'm trying, living my best life. So, but I'm not a Prissy Pants. I might be bougie, but I'm not a Prissy Pants.
All right. So I guess let's talk about actual business because, I want to know your scoop before we left. So Prissy Pants people don't deep dive. They do not get dirty. Prissy Pants. So listen, if you want to have a business, you better be prepared. It's not always going to be clean. It's going to be messy. It's going to be irritating. It's going to be stinky. It's going to be dirty. So Prissy Pants, you may not want to own a business.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. So have you ever met anyone? Change the names for the innocent. Have you ever met anyone that you knew they were so Prissy Pants that they were never going to make it in a small business?
I have. I correlated it to entitlement.
Ooh.
Someone who just felt like I started this business or I own this business. You work for me. You should do this for me. Like, there's a difference between delegating stuff and feeling like people owe you something.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've definitely met people that were Prissy Pants. Well, and another thing, we could take Prissy Pants a little bit farther and say, like, if you don't want to get down and dirty in business, like, you need to move out of the way for the people who are willing to.
Yeah.
Like, one way of getting down and dirty would be data. If you don't want to look at your own data, if that scares you too much, then you're probably prissy pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're probably too sensitive because data tells you the truth.
Yep.
Right?
Numbers don't lie.
It doesn't lie. And if you want to grow revenue, say you're wanting to have a new product or a new service or something. I mean, I've been doing this the last like 2 years with my leadership program. You have to get honest with it, first of all. And then it's hard work.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of hours of myself sitting in front of this laptop doing with a backache, with hunger pains, all that kind of stuff. Research, not pretty. You know, none of this makeup, none of this 14 gallons of makeup that I'm wearing right now.
Oh, stop it.
It's dirty. But I wanted to achieve something, so I had to get down and dirty. So how about yourself? Have you ever started a project and it's like, woo, this is way bigger than I expected?
Yes. And I've done it where I had no idea how deep the crap was that I was about to encounter.
Right.
So I completely like undercharged the client. Completely.
Oh, great point. Great point. Yes. Yeah. Guilty. Yes. Didn't realize something was as huge as it was. Didn't collect all of the data I needed to do a project.
Yep.
At the time, didn't really know how to do a discovery meeting of figuring out facts, figuring out wants, needs, the whole shebangs. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Guilty.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we're talking about data. Let's talk about money. Okay. How many times how many times now the Prissy Pants would not have this conversation. So how many times have you had to talk to people about where their money is coming from and then where it's going?
Yeah. Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, like all these different
stories
are running through my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, with marketing, you know, it's really unfortunate when I run into people and they tell me that they're paying, you know, X amount of dollars for whatever. And I'm like, what? Like, where did you even think that was acceptable? You know?
Yeah.
But they don't do their research. They don't, I mean, data is not only about, oh, this is, you know, my revenue that I have coming in, this is my profit margin, you know, it's also about collecting information. You know, I'm working on a business plan for someone who is looking at getting a $2 million gift. And it's like, if I don't come with the data and do my due diligence and get down and dirty and look at all of the different scenarios, like I'm not going to get it. And same with, you know, people that I've had to have conversations about their money. It's like, you should have done the research up front because it's literally costing you like tens of thousands of dollars.
Right. You know, the Prissy Pants person is never going to get real. They're never going to get real. And you know what else happens? You know, we've talked about these networking events. You will have every type of person there, hopefully, because that makes a great networking event. But there will be people there that will say, I can save your business. I've literally, in our area where you are, I literally had someone say that to a person. I can save your business. And then you know what? The person goes, how? and they couldn't answer that, because they're full of it. But
what an idiot.
What an idiot. But this person who they were talking to was fairly new. So if they would have fallen for it, they would have had this expense that wouldn't have made them any money.
Yeah. If someone approached me and said that, I'd be like, okay, tell me what I do.
Yeah.
Because
why are you so rude? Why are you so damn rude?
And if someone is saying that, like with marketing, I tell people all the time, you are not the hero. You have to absolutely 100% make your customers the hero. Give them the tools that they need to solve their problem.
Yes.
And if you're coming up to someone saying, oh, I can do this, get out of here. You conceited person, you.
Yes. Yeah. And hopefully you're working as partners, not like I'm the princess.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Okay. So tell me, when you go into a client, big, small, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it 100% solely you that is driving results?
Oh, sure, Casey. It's all me. I'm amazing as hell. Right. Yes. It is such a partnership. This is what happens in real life, everybody. You hire a person that's ready to work with you, and that's what you do, right? So when you hear someone who comes up and acts like they can save the day, they're probably the prissy pants. They're never going to deep dive into your data. They're never going to get down and dirty with you and do the uncomfortable conversations. So ignore the prissy pants.
Yes, ignore the prissy pants. Yeah. So I'm going to go a little, not really off topic, but I would love it if we did one of those mud runs together.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be hilarious. And I can just imagine us covered in mud. Like, yeah, we're not prissy pants.
We should have just done this rolling in the mud. We could have done this. So it could be like a C. Clark Consulting and Future Thinking Consulting, getting down and dirty, zero prissy pants involved, right?
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. We could start podcasts like on the road.
Oh my goodness, that would be hilarious.
I don't know what we would end up in trouble. We would end up in trouble.
I would agree with that.
So have you ever had a client, okay, how can I ask this? And they do not even have a purpose in mind? Because I kind of think of those people as maybe they've hired me to help them figure out their purpose, but people who don't want to face their purpose, and you're all about the branding and stuff, people who don't want to tell you or whatever, who and what and why they are, they're difficult. They're difficult. Like, I always expect every one of my clients to want to make money. So I want them to say it. If they never say anything about money, they probably are not part of my group. Yeah. That's not all I want, is people that's all they are worried about. But if they came to you and said, hello, Miss Clark, I would like to hire you, but I know jack shit about myself and what I want to do. I just want company X. Okay, prissy pants. There's a little deep diving.
I would be like, are we starting your brand from the ground and building it? Or do you have an expensive hobby that you're doing? Or what's going on here? Because
some people do so little deep diving that they can't even tell you about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
So it can start off with this is what I'd like to do. I'm going to hire Catherine. I'm going to hire Casey to get me there. But like, if they're prissy pants, you never move forward.
Agreed.
Because they just don't do the dirty work. Yeah. I have experienced that before. And honestly, I have thought to myself, why am I more into your company than you are?
Yeah.
Prissy pants.
Speaking of, yes. And speaking of that, like when, people are hiring someone like you and I, they also have to ask those questions of like, what kind of data are you looking at? I can't tell you how many times I'll send a proposal and it'll be like, oh, we're, each month we'll have a monthly review call and we'll do XYZ. I remember I had a carpet company and they were like, you do monthly review calls? And I'm like, yeah, we talk about the numbers for the previous month and, we look ahead 3 and 6 months out. And they're like, oh my gosh, the company we work with has never even sent us analytics. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, each month, like I dive into the numbers and that's what informs me to, make certain decisions moving forward. And I'm sure the same goes for you.
Yes. How many times I've been asked, so what's so special about your leadership program?
Well,
I can tell you. I can tell you
that.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I'll fight them then. And then I'll tell them, well, I'll explain the ROI 7 to 35 times. And they're like, what? Yes. Yes. I have people, I can hook you up and ask them right now. They have made X amount more after the program. Mm-hmm. Or, they have this much absenteeism and turnover and junk like that. That's what keeps a company going. We need some workers. So we need leaders that can keep workers, especially nowadays. So yeah. People ask us the why and we can answer.
100%.
Yeah. So we're talking about Prissy Pants today. It probably was uncomfortable for some people, and some people might be wanting to share a story. So we would like it if you would email us or let us know who you've ever encountered and how did you deal with a Prissy Pants.
And you don't have to give us their exact name.
Do not. But know that we're here for you. We're here to grow your companies, and you can get a consultation with either one of us, Casey and Catherine. C. Clark Consulting, Future Thinking Consulting. We are here. But next podcast, listen to this, kids. Next podcast is the bumpy, the lumpy road of corporate cellulite.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
All right, corporate cellulite. Can't wait to hear what we have to say about that. But subscribe, listen, be our buddies. Bye.
Bye.